So the Model Y is definitely the nicest car I've ever owned, and of course, I'm taking great care of it. I got a full detail on it to fix some of the initial paint issues that it had. I got a ceramic coating on it. I even bought all the proper things so that I could wash it myself properly. And then I've started to notice tiny little rock chips on that gigantic front bumper, and they kind of hurt my soul at this point. So either it's going to get to a point where it doesn't hurt my soul anymore, or I'm going to give in and get a paint protective film to prevent that. Pretty much every day I go in and do some kind of little detail on at least one spot where I see that some yellow spot has gotten on there from driving or whatever, and then this happened. No! Yeah, that big old rock you saw in that video smacked the windshield, and it hit it right next to where the rear view mirror is that also houses the 3 autopilot cameras. It was probably one of the loudest sounds I've ever heard inside of a car, and it was absolutely piercing and pretty much stayed in our ears for the next few minutes. It took me a couple seconds to actually realize what happened, so I quickly sped around the truck that I think the rock came from. Then I looked up, and this was the damage. My soul! Not even 2 months of ownership, and then this big crack, which most likely is going to be a full replacement of the windshield, which is probably not even that available because this car is 2 months old, plus Tesla's factory has been closed for almost 2 months. It's probably going to be hard to track down this windshield, and it's probably going to be very expensive. So I saved the dash cam footage and calmed down a little bit, and then when I was calm I kind of realized I should have at least written down the license plate or driven closer to the truck so that the dash cam footage could see the license plate, because you clearly can't see it in this video. Too late, but something to note for the future, I guess. Now this hurt especially bad because I've had a Honda Fit for about 7 years before this, and I never even had the smallest crack on that windshield. On top of that, my wife has never had a crack on any of her previous cars, so I really wasn't expecting this to happen. But my next course of action, I went ahead and reached out to people on Twitter because I have a lot of followers that know a lot about Tesla, and asked them, what do you think the best course of action is? Should I reach out to Tesla service? Should I go to a glass repair shop? Or should I just sell my car and get another Honda Fit? I had some mixed replies, with some people saying it'll be no problem, they'll cover it 100%, and other people saying that that really sucks, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And then this funny dialogue. They said, step 1, rage. Step 2, schedule glass repair with Tesla mobile app. Step 3, file claim with Tesla insurance. Step 4, glare angrily at the crack each time you enter and exit the vehicle so it knows what it did. Really, I would glare at that rock, but you know, the windshield didn't hold up, kind of like the Cybertruck windshield didn't, so maybe this is a pattern? I'm totally kidding, that rock would have cracked absolutely any windshield, and if I had had the Cybertruck windshield, it definitely wouldn't have cracked, so I kind of wish I had it. But then this next reply really hurt because I felt like this was going to be the case for me. They said that I'm looking at a $1,300 to $1,500 windshield replacement. That's your only option. So I filed a claim with my insurance, which is actually Tesla insurance, and it was kind of an intense process. I guess it's pretty normal for a claim, but they needed the date, time, location, and they asked for the dash cam footage as well, and I had to talk to 2 different people and describe the whole story. And then I added this issue to a previously scheduled service appointment I had coming up because I was fixing some of the issues that I mentioned in my last review video. But I knew I'd have to wait to get an actual quote, and I kind of wanted an idea of it, so I went to SafeLight's website to hopefully get a general idea of what a windshield could cost. Now the Model Y is brand new, and as expected, it's not available for a windshield replacement on the SafeLight website. But since it's so similar to the Model 3, I figured I'd get a Model 3 quote and it'd probably be fairly similar. And for a Model 3 windshield replacement, SafeLight quotes $869.99. But I know it's going to be bigger than a Model 3, so I quoted a Model S as well to see what that would be. And that actually came out to be a little cheaper, which is interesting, at $729.99. But then worst case scenario, I got a quote about a Model X because a Model X windshield is huge, abnormally large, and it's pretty awesome, but it's definitely more expensive to replace. So the Model X windshield to replace from SafeLight is $1,429.99. Well, surely the price of a replacement windshield for a Model Y is going to be closer to a Model 3, right? Well, I heard back from Tesla a couple days later, and I got a quote. Are you ready? Tesla quoted me $1,337.85 for that full windshield replacement, and they emphasized that they don't think it can be repaired. It's going to have to be a full replacement. Now the breakdown of that cost is $830 for the actual windshield itself, and then $429 for the labor, and then $78.85 for the tax. Unfortunately, at this point, that's literally my only option. I mean, Safelite isn't carrying this windshield. I don't think any third party is at this point, and this car has only been made for about 2 months. And on top of that, Tesla's factory has been closed for about 2 months, along with the rest of the world. So if Tesla service has it, it's gonna be my only option. Based on the quote for the Model 3 windshield, it does seem like it would be cheaper from Safelite, but I have no idea when they're actually going to be getting that windshield. So I followed up with my insurance, and as it turns out, my deductible is $1,000. So of course that means I have to pay $1,000, and then they cover the rest of a full windshield replacement, but they will repair it 100% free if it can be repaired. And that's because in the long run, that should save them money if they can pay $80 to a couple $100 to repair the windshield as opposed to replacing the whole thing. The insurance is going to want to do that. Now, of course, that's my fault that I didn't totally pay attention to what my policy was covering when I got it. But to be honest, even if I had paid attention and really known every single detail about how much windshield coverage I had, I probably wouldn't have gone for a plan that made me pay more per month to get a smaller deductible on a windshield replacement, because it's something I never expected to happen. I've never had it happen before, and I would have never anticipated it happening this early on. Of course, in the future, I know I need to change that, especially with this car being covered with so much glass. So right now, I'm looking at $1,000, which is actually pretty steep for me right now. I mean, I just bought this car, and I'm a full-time musician, and I haven't been able to play for the last couple months, and probably won't be able to play anywhere for the next couple months, so it would be really nice to be able to at least delay this process 6 months or longer, if that's safe to do. The good news about this crack is the location of it. Since it's up there near where the rear view mirror is, it's something I can see but doesn't actually distract me from driving. So because of that, and the fact that I would have to pay $1,000 right now, I followed up with Tesla Insurance to double check that I could get it repaired if that's possible. They said that if it can be repaired, I should go for that and they'll cover it 100%. But if not, I'm going to have to get it replaced right away and pay that deductible. So I went to the Safelite website, and according to their website, as long as your crack is smaller than a dollar bill, it's something that they can fix. Now, I wasn't counting on this, and I was actually ready for them to tell me that it can't be repaired because this crack is pretty deep, but I booked an appointment for the next day and brought it in. After 2 technicians looked at it and gave it the face and then told me how deep the crack was, as if I didn't already know. They told me that they could repair it, but it would still be obvious that there is a crack there, and it would just be a band-aid to hold it out for a little longer until I can get the windshield replaced. That actually was good news for me because I wasn't expecting them to be able to do anything, and the fact that I can now delay it with this simple repair and it will still be safe to use until I can get it replaced is pretty nice. So they filled the crack with their normal process, which I'm sure is probably the same as every glass repair shop out there. First, they clean the chip, and then they inject it with their exclusive resin that they say is stronger and longer lasting. Now, I'm not really sure what is stronger than and longer lasting than, but probably something good. Next, they cure it with a UV lamp, and then they polish it for a smooth finish that's supposed to feel like nothing is there. According to their website, it says that it should repair it to near imperceptibility, but I wasn't counting on this, and I ended up being right. Afterwards, it definitely looks better, and it's smooth to the touch, which is definitely nice, but you can obviously see where the crack is. You can see the center of the crack, where the rock landed is clear and filled in, but the spider pattern is definitely still there. As I mentioned before, even though it's at a spot where I can see it, it's luckily not in the way and distracting me, other than seeing it in my peripherals and rolling my eyes that this even happened now in the first place. So the repair ended up costing $80, which my insurance will cover in full. And as I mentioned, it's just a band-aid to temporarily fill this, make it look better, and make it structurally sound until I can get the windshield replaced in the future. So I'm hoping for 6 months out of this, but we'll see how long this repair lasts and when I actually need to get that windshield replaced. And at that time, I'm going to have to decide, do I go with Tesla or do I go with Safelite? It seems like, based on the Model 3 quote from Safelite, they're going to be cheaper on the Model Y windshield, because the Model Y windshield was about $500 more. Now, of course, it isn't a perfect comparison because they are different windshields, but if it can be quite a bit less than $1,000 that I'm going to have to pay for the full package from Safelite, compared to paying that full $1,000 deductible from Tesla, it might be tempting to go with. I'm just not sure if that's the best idea because Tesla knows what they're doing with their own cars, And Safelite's great, but what do you think? And again, the unfortunate thing about glass is even though this crack is very small, it's a full windshield replacement that I'm going to have to get. So even if it got way worse, it's the same exact repair. So for the future, here's what I learned and what I would recommend for you if you have a Model Y or you're planning on getting one. Number one, on your insurance, make sure that you have full glass coverage, even if it costs more every month. It's gonna be worth it. That rock cracked my windshield, but if it had flown just a little bit further back, it would have cracked my glass roof, which is giant, at least twice the size of the windshield itself. And I can only imagine that it would be about twice as expensive, although it would only cost me the same $1,000 deductible. Next, make sure to grab the license plate of where that rock came from if you can track it down, because that's something the insurance asked me about and I wasn't able to give it to them. And then make sure you have a dash cam drive installed so that it's actually filming that footage, and then right after the incident, make sure to tap the top right corner to save the dash cam clip. It's visual proof for your insurance that this was a non-collision incident and that it was totally not your fault. If I had had 100% coverage, I would have avoided this entire incident and would have just brought it into a service appointment, gotten a new windshield, wouldn't have thought about it. So what are your thoughts on what I did? Would you have gone to Safelite? And in the future, do you think I should go to Tesla, Safelite, someone else to get the full windshield replacement? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. When I am able to get the full windshield replaced, I'll be sure to make a video about that, so look out for that, and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already for that video and a lot more videos about the Model Y. Make sure to like this video if you appreciated it. You can also check out my favorite Tesla accessories in the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Grumpy face. This emoji. My reaction was that Michael Scott gif from The Office when Toby comes back. You know what I'm talking about. Where's the Cybertruck when you need it? Am I right? Windshield, glass roof, back window, front window, back window, tiny little back window, side mirror. A lot of glass. If I had changed lanes like a second sooner, it wouldn't happen. But I would have had no idea that it didn't happen. I wouldn't appreciate that it didn't happen. I wonder how many rock chips I've actually avoided and didn't realize I didn't hit. This just happened to be the one time that it totally happened. This is my face looking at the rock chip when I'm driving.